Hello everyone and welcome to Snap Take. Today we've got some great decks for you, including the return of an old classic Scream that has an 88% win rate at high infinite. That's completely freaking absurd. We've got the return of Darkhawk coming from the great Dekkster. But first, I hit infinite. It was an accident. I actually mean that, but I hit infinite. I was at 97 at the end of my last stream, and after the nerfs to Mr. Fantastic First Steps and Havoc who's now a 2-1, I decided that I wanted to try this deck. It took 4 games, and I was infinite. This feels completely insane still. I think what's actually being slept on here fairly often is the Marvel Boy interaction with either Sunspot, Hydra Bob, or Squirrel Girl. There is so very, or Black Cat. There's so very much power in that. We'll talk about it all card by card and break it down for you. But if you just want to win games of Snap, if you just want infinite, no one's countering this, which means it's completely insane. Play it, win games, be infinite. You can find me at twitch.tv/PulseGlazer, where I stream 3 to 4 times a week. I just streamed last night. This deck needs Thena, Invisible Woman, Fantasticar, and Marvel Boy. Those 4 cards are your absolute requirements for this list. Hydra Bob can be Kitty Pryde. Human Torch and Prodigy, we're looking at Frigga or the Thing First Steps. Frigga is basically the Prodigy replacement. You do want to double Invisible Woman. Marvel Boy versus Bruce is like a major conversation in this deck. There are a lot of versions that run Marvel Boy. There are a lot of versions that run Bruce. My basic argument is going to be that if you are doubling the Invisible Woman, you want Marvel Boy. If not, you want Bruce. Mr. Fantastic can be Surge or kind of whatever. It's a very extra card. I wasn't playing it with any sort of fidelity. I was often prioritizing multiple other cards in front of it. It's fine in this list, but it's no longer remotely must-have. How the mighty have fallen. All right, so let's remember that Mr. Fantastic is a 3-4 and Havoc is a 2-1 as we talk about these cards. Sunspot remains great. Triggering Sunspot 4 times with even 3 energy is a ton, right? You start with a 0 power Sunspot. Let's start with a 0 power Sunspot. 4 times 3 is 12. If we can hit Fantasticar, we just paid 1 for 14 power. Obviously, that's humongous. Squirrel Girl is here for 2 reasons. One, it is amazing with Marvel Boy. One of the best cards in all of Marvel Snap if you were playing Marvel Boy. Those cards alone, you get a power, 3 power on 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a 12 power for your 1 energy investment in Squirrel Girl. Well, I guess technically 4 in playing Squirrel Girl and Marvel Boy. That's Ares and power spread out over the board. It's wonderful. The other thing is one of the very best cards in Marvel Snap right now is Juggernaut. And Squirrel Girl can often fill the board, meaning their Juggernaut does nothing and you get an auto win. That happened more times than I can say. Overall with this deck, Squirrel Girl is in a great place right now because of the power of Juggernaut. Hydra Bob's an extra 1-drop. Making him a 1-6 with Fantasticar is fine. You're just happy to do that. Same basic concept with Black Cat, except she's a 1-7, and sometimes you're forced to play her. I will play Black Cat over anything else on turn 1 or 2 to make sure she gets out. Havoc is almost exclusively a turn 6 play, especially if you are doubling the Invisible Woman for steps. He still gets ungodly big. He's getting the 4 triggers at 3, that's plus 12. He starts at 1, he's now a 13 power card, where before he would have been a 16 power card. That's fine. You're happy to pay 2 on the last turn for a wherever you want 13 power card. Thena, meanwhile, has the same basic power except can start scaling earlier because she's a card you can play on turn 2, anywhere from turn 2 to 5, and scale her a bit early. She's utterly insanely good. Another end of turn card that's buffed by Fantasticar and Invisible Woman. Mr. Fantastic First Steps is just kind of here. It's funny, he's showing as a 3-4 in the cost slot, but not in the actual deck. Whatever, what are you going to do? He's fine. You still are fine with the +2. The -1 was still good in exactly 1 game, where I ended up playing him on turn 5 with something else to trigger Thena, and then I was able to get something for 1 cheaper, and that 1 extra energy mattered, whatever it was on the next turn. Cool, nice to have. Nowhere near as good as it was when it was a 2-drop, but hey, with Fantasticar, he's still a 3-6. He can still play for bigger than that with his own ability. He's fine here. He says end of turn, and there's nothing really better that says end of turn that fits in our cost curve. Human Torch gets reasonably big. Your scalers here are really Sunspot, Havoc, and Thena. Torch for steps is not much of a scaler here because you're not usually playing Torch for steps on turn 3. There's stuff you'd rather do. Still, it's a nice card to have access to. The +2 for Fantasticar before it doubles means that it gets +4 from Fantasticar. It will double before it gets that last extra power, so it's only getting that 1 extra power from the Invisible Woman. Even if it gets that 1 extra power 4 times from Invisible Woman and Prodigy, it's only getting 1 extra power. So be it. That works fine. This is a decent card, especially if you don't see Invisible Woman, to cap with Prodigy toward the end of the game. Prodigy will then gain a power and still doubling both of them. Filling the lane is a great way to get power. It's a good card here, but it's not pivotal. Havoc, Athena, and Sunspot are your scalers. Torch and Marvel Boy are backup plans. Though I'm not 1,000% sure Marvel Boy should be a backup plan. Remember how I said with Squirrel Girl, he's making Squirrel Girl get 12 extra power, right? Like turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, turn 6. Excuse me. Yeah, 3 times 4 is 12. That's how that math works. Cool. What if I said he gives 24 extra power because you doubled Invisible Woman? That's pretty good, right? Like the 3 extra power is great. The 12 extra power is nuts. Prodigy is once more genuinely here largely for Invisible Woman for steps. Doubling that ability is stupid. Don't be afraid to double any of the following cards. Havoc on the last turn? Sure. I'll take a 3/7. If you can't get the Invisible Woman doubled, you will get a 3/10 out of him. Pretty damn good. You can do the same basic concept with Athena. You can copy Human Torch to get the redouble of the ability. A nice place to be, especially again with Fantasticar. But you can get the extra Marvel Boy for an extra 3 power. Again, especially good if a lane is full. If you know a lane's going to be close, this is a very counting heavy deck. Count what your opponent has or what you think your opponent's going to have, and you can often win. My favorite secondary target for Prodigy, though, is just Fantasticar, especially if I don't see Invisible Woman. Turn 4, Fantasticar to turn 5, Prodigy to copy Fantasticar is insanely strong. That is +4 to basically your whole board. There are games where you do that, where you have, for example, Sunspot, Hydra Bob, Black Hat, Athena out. It's 4 cards. That would generally be a +8. Right? If you can turn that into a +16, you got like a mini Invisible Woman thing going. Don't sleep on how good Fantasticar is. Fantasticar is right now in this metagame better than Galactus, better than Gwenpool. It's an A-tier card. It was a card that didn't really matter until this deck came together, and as soon as Invisible Woman came out and this deck came together, it's one of the best cards in Marvel Snap. All right, so this is an overpowered deck, especially right now because everyone seems to have stopped countering it after the OTA. So please go back to countering it because I went 4-0 pre-infinite, and then I went 8-0 post-infinite. I don't know. This feels really good. Really, really good. This would be a thumbnail, but I feel like we know that this is really good. Anyone who's smart and pays attention to the game knows this is really good. If you want to win games, play it. Turn 1, Black Cat over Bob over Sunspot over Squirrel Girl. And Squirrel Girl goes up in the agenda if you have Marvel Boy in hand already. Turn 2, although you might want to save Squirrel Girl for later if you're not going to play Marvel Boy until turn 5 or 6. You can play Marvel Boy turn 5 or 6 if you're doubling Invisible Woman and still get the same value. Or similar enough value. All right, next up we've got turn 2 is either Athena or a 1-drop. I will play Black Hat over Athena. Otherwise, it does depend. If I think I'm going to be playing 2 cards on turn 4, i.e., 1 plus Prodigy, or 1 plus Torch, then I will try and get Athena out here. If not, I'm perfectly fine to play a 1. Black Cat is the only one I will always play over Athena because then you don't have a chance to play Black Cat. Turn 3, I want Invisible Woman. Nice and simple. Play her. I don't know where Red Guardian went, but I haven't seen it. I like to play her alone in the lane because then I want to go 1 and Prodigy on her next. If I don't have Prodigy, I can play her with something else that might protect her from Red Guardian. Invisible 1 over Athena +1, which is more or less equal to Marvel Boy. Marvel Boy if you have obviously Squirrel or 1s, which is better than Torch, which is equal to Mr. Fantastic First Steps. You can move Mr. Fantastic First Steps up there. I haven't felt the need to. Turn 4, 1 plus Prodigy or Fantasticar. Sometimes you'll drop Car on 4, though, and then you'll go 2 plus Prodigy, Car or Invisible Woman on turn 5. You can also do Car or another 3 plus 2. Turn 6, Havoc and Sunspot or Marvel Boy, and then you trigger everything and you win. Ew, this deck is disgusting. I don't know what else to say. Like, this is the best deck in Marvel Snap right now. Play it. If people aren't going to counter it, go enjoy your cubes. I immediately climbed like 200 ranks post-infinite with this. It's completely ridiculous. This is the best deck, but we might have another contender. We'll talk about it after I tell you about our season pass giveaway. This week in a community post tomorrow, I'll be announcing the winner of Galactus First Steps this week. A sub, a like, and a comment on any and all videos this week will enter you to win this card. Every video has a specific question in it. You answer that question, you're entered to win Galactus. Galactus is very good, just for the record. In addition, this is my last time warning you, Snap Judgments League is kicking off momentarily. Please, please, please make sure you join the Snap Judgments League if you are so inclined. It is 1 game a week for up to $500 in prizes. Check out topdeck.gg if you're so inclined. They are our sponsor. And if you'd like to join, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/snapjudgments. All right, Ika sent me this Scream list. He's like, "This is the Scream list, by the way. I've won." He sent me when it's 10-0, and then he fell to a 75% win rate. And what I think I checked quickly is like 30 games. Friends, that's a really, really great win rate. So I'm going through my messages as I wake up in the morning because I get a bunch of messages while I'm asleep because I live in Vietnam now, and that's the other side of the world from the time zone most of my friends live in. So I've got these other messages. I'm like, this list looks great. I can't wait to feature it. And Lord knows I love a Scream deck. I've been screaming that it's underrated. This is a misnomer. It's actually like 21 or 22-3, and then I won like 2 or 3 games with it too, and I accidentally wrote 30-3, and I was too lazy to go back and fix it. But we're gonna just count Yoda's stats here and say that this one has an 88% win rate. So two great players at top 10% infinite playing nothing but great players have absolutely been rocking with Scream, and what's really, really nice about this one is this one's even really cheap. Batrock, Scream, Sam, Cannonball. That's an affordable deck, friends. That is 2 Series 4 cards, 2 Series 5 cards. Go get this deck. We are cooking with gas. This is absolute fire. This is the meta right now. Yoda doesn't have any socials. He doesn't do any streaming or anything, but unhelpful Yoda props. The other version is from Ika, who you can find shaping the meta at twitch.tv/Ika_MTS. We need Cannibal, Batrock, Zelepa, Sam, and Scream. You actually can't replace any of them, sorry. That's why they're in both versions. You can try other things with like Hydra Stomp, you can add and drop Red Guardian, so on and so forth. So, Batrock, if you play Sam, is a 110. If you don't play Sam, let's say you play Batrock, then you go into Scream. Then you go into Polaris, Stegron, Arrow, Cannonball. It's still plus 8 power. That's still a 110. Batrock is humongous. It's one of the biggest ones in the game, one of the best ones in the game. You should definitely play it. It's not as big as Sunspot in that other deck, but it's still pretty damn good. Kingpin is the card that most surprised me here. It's also the first card I'd cut. It's just a really good card to move things into, right? Being able to take those 2 power off is very good. Scream still scales at the rate of 4. She is now the last card, now that Havoc is gone, that scales at the rate of 4. Scaling at a rate of 4 is completely insane, and thus Scream is one of the best cards in the game. That's all it takes. This deck goes more all in on Scream than recent versions that have been more mini moves, but we have 2 trigger Scream here: Spider-Man, Juggernaut, Polaris, Stegron, Cannonball, Arrow. So there's up to 6 uses. You can't play all those in one game, but still, you're going to get a big screen if you play her for this version. Sam moves your cards to make Miles cheaper, moves your cards to buff Craven, moves the card to buff him, and moves Batrock around. All of those mean he is a must-have for the deck. Sam remains a great card, not the best in the game, but a great card. From here, we go with the Hunter. It is Craven the Hunter, who is just kind of bonkers, right? Like he's a ton of power, lots of use, lots of power. Sam alone and Batrock alone can make him really big, but you also have Spider-Man, Polaris, Stegron, Cannibal, all these other things to buff him. He's fairly big here. Not necessarily a lane winner, but absolutely great. Spider-Man triggers both Scream and Craven. You love to have it. Cards that do both are great. Polaris, same concept. Polaris also gives you access to a mini clog package. This deck is really, really good. Whenever you see Polaris, Stegron, and Arrow, what you realize what you're doing is you're trying to sort of clog one lane using them, usually the far right lane, but it could be any. You're trying to clog one lane with them and then use Cannonball to win another. So Miles is a 1/6. We're happy to have a 1/6 on our team. Juggernaut is sort of, oh, we didn't get the clog package. Let's try and win a location easy. Juggernaut can also be a really, really great clog card on turn 5 and steals you certain locations. Cannonball is an auto lane winner, and you often have one lane that's insurmountable, so that's the job. And then, of course, Stegron and Arrow are clog cards that just have good stats. Yoda was 21-3 with this. That's an 88% win rate. He sent me his untapped stats, great cube rate, everything else. And again, I am 4-0 with it. I'll get a larger sample when I have time to stream, either later tonight or tomorrow morning. Turn 1, Batrock over Kingpin. Turn 2, Sam or Scream. Scream can be a snap over Craven. Turn 3, Polaris, or you can play a 2. 2+1, not 2+2, excuse me. Turn 4, Stegron or 2+2. Turn 5, Cannonball or Arrow. If you want to try and move Juggernaut, Cannonball on 5 to guarantee a lane is pretty solid. And then turn 6, we can play Cannonball, usually with Miles, or Juggernaut plus whatever we can. Miles, a 2-drop, and win. Wow. All right, so that previous deck, that Invisible Woman deck that has all that power, this deck does a really, really solid job at rocking the face off that deck, clogging it up with a bunch of stuff, and then making sure that you can't double Invisible Woman and mess with it. This deck doesn't really do bad matchups right now. Nothing is filling the board, and thus nothing can really compete with it. People are, however, playing a lot of cards and almost filling the board, which means that you can clog with this and win a ton of games. If you'd like to win a ton of games in Marvel Snap, Scream. Please, before we go forward, if you watch this long, hopefully you're enjoying the video. Hit that sub, hit that like, and hit that comment, and help us out. And twitch.tv/PolschoolLaser is how you can find us if you want to watch a stream. Our season pass question is really simple. How's the season gone for you? How you feeling about the game? Are you feeling okay? I hope you're feeling okay. If you're not feeling okay, you gotta let us know. But how you feeling about the season and the game? I've been up and down with it. I think the OTA, as much as parts of it frustrated me, ultimately breathed new life into the game for me. It let us try new things, and thus I'm entertained. One of the things it let us try, Dekkster was sent this. Dekkster eliminated the name. I have a feeling this might be our friend Bricks to Click, or who I think sent me a similar deck. But Dekkster eliminated the name. Dekkster created a version that was similar to this, and then someone else basically edited it to this and sent it back, and then Dekkster won 78% of his games. So I figure 78% means that this is a deck worth knowing. I did beat this deck a couple times using the Invisible Woman deck because Dekkster's a big creator, and so people are playing this list. But just because it loses to the best deck doesn't mean it's not a really great deck. You can find Dekkster at twitch.tv/Dekkster or on YouTube at the same name. We need Wiccan, Malekith, and Darkhawk here. Speed and Cassandra Nova can be Gladiator and Negasonic, although Speed in particular is great. Cassandra can be great, but she's a little harder to use. You have to sort of figure out when to play her, all the rocks. All right. I really, really, really want Grandmaster in here. It doesn't fit at all, but I really want Grandmaster. Okay. Korg, Rock Slide, Terrax, put rocks in the deck. Those cards make Darkhawk big. We'd like to copy our big Darkhawk with Mystique. Mystique always needs a second target. Mystique's second target for this particular list is Speed. Quicksilver and Domino give us guaranteed early power. Guaranteed early power is very important to make Terrax, who's now at 3/4, put extra rocks in the deck, and they really help us get our Wiccan curve. Getting extra energy from Wiccan is really, really good. Malekith, because of Quicksilver and Domino, has nothing but good hits. Cassandra Nova feels like it would be a bad hit, but because you're putting so many rocks in the deck, you're pretty happy to have that. Mystique, same thing. Now you're trying to play Darkhawk on the last turn of the game. Hopefully this all makes sense to you. This is a very synergistic and very smooth and obvious deck. If you want something easy to play, well, I think today's decks are kind of for you, but this one is definitely one. So Dex had a 78% win rate, and he's crushing the top 100 this season, so pay attention to that. Turn 1, Korg over Quicksilver. Turn 2, Domino. Turn 3, Cast, Speed, and Terrax are all fine, depending. If you're winning locations, the opponent's played nothing, drop your Terrax. If you've put a rock in their deck and you don't have much else to do, Cast, and generally speaking, Speed is just good. I like to hold Speed in case I need to Mystique it later. Turn 4, we're going Wiccan over Malekith. Turn 5, we're going Darkhawk. Turn 6, Juggernaut, Mystique, or Speed. Sometimes Darkhawk plus. If we played Wiccan, sometimes Malekith plus one of those threes. Yucky, 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 yucky. Enjoy Darkhawk. Darkhawk never stays out of the meta for long. We had this conversation on the podcast. That'll be out live tomorrow. Be out on the channel here tomorrow. The conversation about was fundamentally Darkhawk was out of the meta for like 5 minutes there, right? Last time he was good was when Arishem was good around Golden Gauntlet 2. So like Darkhawk never stays out of the meta for long. They released Terrax. Darkhawk is back. Enjoy if you are a Darkhawk enjoyer. If you would like to watch a stream of these decks, please check out Thorn Newman, who should be live right around the same time that this video is. We also have a Patreon outside of just the tournament. Please support our Patreon, patreon.com/snapjudgments. Thank you to Jonesy Snapped22, our patron of the month, Abigail Gilson, Matt Burn Out. I don't know why you have so many words in your name, Matt Burn Out, but you do. Regardless is a word. LAB always kind. Ink the Graphite Fan. I am Frostman. You sure are. Check him out on Twitch. Jota Navarrete, who's never told me if I say it right now. Primed Ryan of the Prime Mind app. Do watch the Prime Mind app. Awesome stuff. Ryan Berkey, Ryan Wood Snap on YouTube. Ryan Wrench. Gopher Kev. Keltor. Kertix Lee. Koire. Kazushi. Archangel. 3K is a liar. It's now 6K, baby. Black Dahlia. Alliance Leader. Perfros. Alliance Leader. The Goatee. Alliance Leader. Code. Alliance Leader. Hallowed. Sith. Ratnick. Absolute Shannon. Dirtay. Casual. Filthy. Even. Dark. Moogle. Thank you for joining Moogs. Mr. Kerfuffing around. Cables. Traveling the world. Ginger Prime. What's up, Ginge? Philly. Haplo. Candy Loggins of the Danger Zone. The Bizza. Notoriously. Chilling with Black Jeebus 23. Exorcine Skippy G. Our rhyming friends. Jessica Gamble. Sup, Jess. Mr. Slush. Death. The King of Bros. Bro. The Great Kazoo. Werewolf. Who. KFC. Hoda Clam. Colonel Foreman. Rob Silverman leads off Real Name Town along with David Wingfield, the Moo Fan, Stephen, Brian Kaufman, Tris Martin, and Jason Buh. And then finally we finish off Real Name Town, Matt Va. Corwin, John Q, and Jimmy Q. Q Town is tiny. If you got a Q in your name, please join that tier. Yes, out 8th Sage. Well, big bad. Milkman. Nope, Milkman's gone. He was on the podcast. I'm very confused here. Cactus Jack, my favorite Foley. Reapser, reaping it in. Steve O, 131. Yo Marco. Ted Bro. Quid Pro. Joe. Snap Decisions. Joe. Check out the Snap Decisions podcast, please. Bickety Boom Bot. Bricks to Click is killing it on Twitch lately. Check that out. Green Goblin. My favorite Osborne. Unibot V2, check him out on YouTube. Flan56, it is the Flan Men. Spectrumix, woot. Only Fox. Matt H, Stealing Mummy D. TJ Mac Hedgings, no frickin' flex. Like me, I can't flex. Nick the Greek Geek, check out Nikki on Twitch. Toxic Soul King is also on Twitch, doing awesome things, as is Zodruk74, as is the King of Canada, JJ, but he's also on YouTube. Chilling with Denman Falcon, who's also on YouTube. Fothler Newman, meanwhile, is on Twitch and YouTube. Two Ties is running the Snap Judgments League now. He is also in the back end of the Golden Gauntlet. He is awesome. Props to Two Ties. The great Laura Devs of the Snap on this podcast. Congrats to my friend Lauren for a big milestone. If you don't know what it is, go check out the Snap on this podcast. The Pirate King Tucker of every social media there is. And of course, Gunny T. The T stands for I think I did well that video. Do you think I did well that video? I feel like I did really well that video. Whatever. I'm going to go have a day. We're going to go watch some DJ in Hanoi at some point. I don't know. Let's do a thing. Peace.